Starts now.
Welcome to Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Justin Betty. President Joe Biden visited Wisconsin today, making a trip to a transit hub in La Crosse to talk about his infrastructure plan. The timing was no coincidence. 65 years ago today, President Eisenhower signed into law the bill creating America's interstate system. Today, President Biden called the $1 trillion infrastructure package he negotiated with a bipartisan group of senators its equal, saying it has the potential to boost America's economy for decades.
This deal will put American workers to work in good-paying jobs. Not minimum wage jobs, not $15 an hour jobs, prevailing wage jobs, good paying jobs, repairing our roads and our bridges.
The $1 trillion agreement almost collapsed after President Biden indicated he could only sign it if they included the Democrats' only human infrastructure plan at the same time. He clarified those comments today, saying he does support this compromise plan, which still hasn't quite reached the finish line. Thousands of weddings were postponed last year due to the pandemic, but that just means more couples are tying the knot this year. However, now instead of a pandemic, couples are seeing a more common problem. Newswatch 12's Rachel Eiler explains.
If you're a couple looking to get married within the next 2 years, securing your dream location might be a challenge because venues are booked solid all the way up until 2023. Wedding bells are ringing once again in the Northwoods. Marketing director for Rondelay Ranch, Vonda Backhouse, says their demand to host weddings isn't just back to normal, it's increased.
We're running fully on new bookings, booked up this year. We have 5 weekends left in 2022, and we are booking into 2023 already. For more eager couples, they're choosing to tie the knot on less traditional days. We are doing day of the week weddings now. We have several weddings on a Tuesday. Prior to the pandemic, couples could book 9 to 12 months out and still get the wedding date they want. But now, many people are waiting at least 18 months.
Venues, vendors, everyone is just booked.
And it's not slowing down. Stevens Point wedding planner Marsha Van Ark says while the summer season is typically prime for weddings, new clients are reaching out to her sooner rather than later.
My influx, typically it doesn't happen until towards fall. I just brought on 5 new clients this last week. So yes, the floodgates have opened.
Experts suggest to avoid getting scooped on location, couples should call the venue first before setting a date. Reporting in Harshaw, Rachel Eiler, Newswatch 12.
Outside, Jeff, we're dodging some showers again this evening.
Yep, plenty of moisture in the atmosphere again today, and a very active radar, too. One line came through earlier from Iron Mountain down toward Wisconsin Rapids. Now we're kind of destabilizing again across the Northwoods, and then back off toward north and west. That is a developing system here back across Iron County that could bring some small hail and gusty winds to Vilas County here in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. But overall, a very active pattern currently. And you can see, too, there's pockets of sunshine in here helping to destabilize things. So a very active couple more hours to get through tonight. We'll get a break for several hours tomorrow, followed by some more storms about this time tomorrow night. None of this is severe, by the way, but there is some very heavy rainfall mixed in. In fact, Plover saw almost 1.5 inches of rainfall in about 75 minutes earlier. And here we are in Plover right now where the sun is shining. But again, that's not always great news as it's destabilizing the atmosphere even more with more rain coming later on tonight. Justin?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Walmart has announced it'll start selling its own private brand of analog insulin at a discounted price. Company officials say starting this week, the brand Relion Novolog will be available in Walmart pharmacies to those who have a prescription. The insulin will cost about $73 a vial or $86 for a package of pre-filled insulin pens. They say that's between 50 and 75% off the cash price of name brand insulin products. The products will also be available at Sam's Clubs starting in mid-July. The number of new COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin has been holding steady over the last couple weeks. Today, DHS reports about 120 new cases. We're averaging 73 per day over the last week. Meanwhile, today, DHS reports 7 new deaths, which is the most they've reported in about 3 weeks. We had been averaging less than 1 death per day statewide over the last week. As far as the vaccine rollout goes, DHS now says about 61% of all adults in Wisconsin have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. They say just over 57% of adults have now completed their vaccination. Those numbers put Wisconsin at about average or even slightly above average compared to other states in the country. A new study suggests the two mRNA COVID-19 vaccines may induce lasting immunity. The study was limited. Researchers extracted lymph node samples from 14 people who received the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, and they all formed germinal centers 3 weeks after the first dose. They say these germinal centers form as a result of natural infection or vaccination, and they are key to protective immune response. They also collected samples from 10 people 15 weeks after the first dose. 8 still had these germinal centers. The experts say the longer a person has them, the stronger and more durable their immunity will be. Despite all the encouraging COVID news, health officials are still also warning about the COVID-19 Delta variant, which they say spreads much more easily and could be more dangerous. As Britt Conway reports, the vaccines seem to work, but keep in mind not every country is as vaccinated as we are here in the U.S.
This problem is not going away.
Everyone should recognize this pandemic's not over. The virus hasn't gone.
In fact, it's still mutating. The Delta variant that ravaged India has now been identified in more than 85 countries, including the U.S., which is why world leaders are working together to ramp up global vaccine distribution.
As long as the virus is replicating somewhere, it's likely to be mutating. So we have to get ahead of this.
But right now, less than 11% of people around the world are fully vaccinated. Here in the U.S., more than 46% of people have been fully vaccinated. But Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Wyoming are among the states with the lowest vaccination rates.
And those are going to be the more vulnerable parts of this country. It's going to be hyper-regionalized, where there's certain pockets of the country where you can have very dense outbreaks.
In other words, fewer vaccinations could mean more outbreaks. At this church camp, the Crossing Camp in rural Illinois, 85 people who were there earlier this month, most of them teens, tested positive for COVID-19. The State Department of Public Health says everyone there was eligible to be vaccinated, but they were aware of only a handful of campers and staff receiving the vaccine.
The way out of this crisis is through vaccinations. Either you get vaccinated and you're exposed, so you're protected, or you don't get vaccinated and you're exposed and you get COVID and you take your chances.
It's Britt Conway reporting. Preparations are now underway for this weekend's 4th of July celebrations across the Northwoods. Three Lakes Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Colette Sorgel says their fireworks display kicks off at dusk on July 4th at Don Burnside Park. She says it's one of the best shows around.
They are one of the best set of fireworks we have up here in the Northwoods. My husband and I move around and see them all, and I'm going to be in the park right there watching this year.
And there's more than just fireworks. She says the weekend begins with the Venetian Boat Parade Saturday, and there's lots more.
And our theme for the parade this year is USA Bouncing Back, and bouncing back from the pandemic, but also we're celebrating our girls basketball team that did so well this year.
Because they bounce balls, see? Anyway, to find out more about the boat parade, the shops, vendors, and other events in Three Lakes this weekend, you can head to their website or follow them on Facebook. Family farms are scattered throughout the Badger State, and they are a key to Wisconsin's economy. But what are some of the challenges facing these small farms in today's world? We'll look at that in just a few minutes. But first, Jeff's in with your full forecast, including those showers moving through this evening. That's next on Newswatch 12 at 5.
Heidi, what are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for magic.
Oh my God. I'm gonna throw up.
We've never had anyone as good as you.
We got a ball game here, Cook.
Yeah. Tonight, the Manning's alma maters go head to head.
Try not to be biased, okay, Pate? I'm a professional.
And so am I. Capital One College Bowl, tonight on NBC.
Did you know that approximately 45,000 women in the U.S. will die from breast or cervical cancer this year? The key to prevention and survival is early detection through regular screenings by mammogram and Pap test. Women aged 45 to 64 who are under or uninsured may be eligible for these tests through the Wisconsin Well Woman program. For more information, call 715-369-6119. A message from the Oneida County Health Department and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Carpet City. Come to Carpet City Flooring Center and get the toughest waterproof floors in the industry, where they're in stock and on sale. Rigid Maximum XL is 50% thicker and 30% longer, resulting in maximum durability, which is perfect for active families and pets. Not to mention, it's easy to install. Come to Carpet City Flooring Center to get your Rigid Maximum XL waterproof floors today.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
Enhance your home's curb appeal with new stain or paint from Menards. Cabot Premium Wood Care products deliver unbelievable quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Get 11% off Cabot exterior stains and finishes. Complete your updates with a fresh coat of paint. Dutch Boy Max Bond Exterior Paint and Primer offers extreme adhesion technology to provide beautiful protection. Right now, all Dutch Boy paints are 11% off. Get 11% off everything right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, there's nothing severe in here, but there are some pockets of heavy rainfall this afternoon. One wave came through earlier, mushing off to the Green Bay area now. There's a break in the action through here with some instability thunder showers. And then another line back to the west of us trying to form is running into a little bit of trouble there, but you get the idea. Still some rain, heavy rainmakers to get through this evening into tonight. Let's go for a tour, and here's the strongest storm now across our northern counties, working toward Valles County now, in Iron County currently, with some lightning and thunder. There's no hail with this at all, but looking right toward Manitouche Waters, there's Boulder Junction, there's Lac de Flambeau, likely getting wet again in the next 20 minutes or so. From a heavy rainmaker there, they could easily get 1 inch to 2 inches of rain out of this, right along 51 as well. If you're driving that way, not a good idea. You'll likely need to pull over for a short time as let it pass by. Further south, there goes that line across parts of central Wisconsin now. Pushed through Plover, over 1 inch of rain in Plover. So again, heavy rain over the same spots that saw heavy rain yesterday. So we're getting it again today, and we'll likely do it again tomorrow, but more scattered across the area tomorrow. And there's a problem though, is there's some sunshine in here between line 1 and line 2. Here's a live look at Plover right now, where the air is gone still. This is bad news, because right now we're at peak daytime heating for late June, and that kind of bubbles up the atmosphere once again. So here's the big picture. You can see there's that sunshine. There's Plover right there. You can see to the west of that some sunshine right now. That could destabilize the atmosphere again and bring us some more rain this evening. But again, it's going to be a stretch. We'll see, as a very unstable atmosphere across the area right now, with more showers and storms tonight. Here's the rainfall though. So again, there's nothing severe out there right now. Hardly any hail either, but you get the idea. These are really good, really good rainmakers currently. And this rain, where you see the darker green colors there, it's 1 to 2 inches of rain, and it happens very quickly. So if you're driving through that, likely need to pull over, also leading to localized flooding as well. And so one wave came through with that one. We'll get a break in the action now. Here's wave 2 back to Iron County now, moving in our direction. So locally heavy rainfall is the primary threat tonight. Tomorrow, though, a couple of these could produce some more hail as we have colder air aloft coming in that could make us some hail tomorrow afternoon. All right, so what we need is a cold front to come through and kind of clear it all out of here. And look, there's one out to the west of us right now. That is slowly, and I mean like slowly, turtle pace slowly, moving in our way for tomorrow. It's going to come through, and then a reinforcing shot of colder air gets in here on Thursday. That'll turn off the precipitation. But until then, tomorrow, it's going to be a problem because this low is going to be nearby. we'll get into this atmosphere right over here, and that's still kind of a bubbly atmosphere for storms. It's humid in here. There's instability in here. So again, tomorrow through the afternoon, look for some widespread, locally heavy showers and storms. The threat for hail is there tomorrow. But then this front comes through on Thursday, finally clears us out. That high pressure is going to build in for the holiday weekend, and we have a fantastic weekend on the way with temperatures back up in the 80s and lots of sunshine. No 80s out there right now, although we came close earlier. There's sunshine to the west of us right now, a couple 80s out there earlier, but the rest of us are kind of rain-cooled across the area now. We'll see highs back in the 70s for tomorrow. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is scattered showers and a couple of storms still yet to get through tonight. Locally heavy rainfall, some dense fog, especially where it rained today, with low temperatures down near 60. For tomorrow, we're going to reach for 80 again, depending on sunshine through the afternoon, with storms likely through the afternoon again. Any of those could be strong to locally severe. Be ready for that. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows we get through this tomorrow, dry out for Thursday, and then we're going to crank up the heat. Look at the holiday weekend. Sunshine with temperatures in the 80s. Justin?
All right, thanks, Jeff. Dairy farms in Wisconsin are becoming harder to come by these days. Just in 2019, the state lost nearly 10% of all its dairy farms. News Watch 12's Morgan Johnson went to one local family farm today to hear about what challenges it's still facing.
Every week, Wisconsin has fewer and fewer dairy farms. One local dairy farmer in Merrill is defying that trend, but he still has his own challenges to overcome. Since 1969, Hans Breitenmoser grew up on his family farm, and since taking over for his dad, he's bought more land and more cows. His herd is now 450.
I think my folks started with around 20 cows, and then it just sort of slowly but surely expanded and evolved from there.
However, even though his farm is growing, other small family farms in the state are doing the opposite. Breitenmoser says many of the issues his farm faces are like other small businesses. Rising costs of health insurance and competition from big businesses. But the biggest challenge to him is unique to dairy: no oversupply management.
As long as our supply outpaces demand, it pushes the price down, price of raw milk down, and it makes it more and more difficult for smaller operators to compete.
Breitenmoser only has to look to the north of Wisconsin to see how supply management could be. Milk producers in Canada have quotas. This means they make only enough milk to match the demand.
If the producers would work together and say, we're going to manage the oversupply, that means we could work as other industries do and say, we're not necessarily setting a price, but we're managing the supply that we crank out so that it can meet demand rather than constantly exceed demand.
Breitenmoser believes oversupply management could help family farms be sustainable and reduce government aid. These subsidies cost American taxpayers about $20 billion every year. As for the future of small family farms in Wisconsin, Breitenmoser isn't sure what will happen.
My sincere hope is that we've got as many farms as possible going forward. I mean, I think the more the merrier.
But for now, he's focused on one thing.
It's my job every day to make sure that every one of those cows produces, more milk than they did a generation ago, right? I mean, we live and die by that last pound of milk.
Reporting for Newswatch 12 in Merrill, I'm Morgan Johnson.
This week, the U.S. launched airstrikes against what they say was an Iranian-backed militia in the Middle East. Now, U.S. troops still there are coming under fire. We'll have the latest from the region after the break.
Are you worried about going away to college this fall? What if you could get the same college experience closer to home? From the moment you step onto our campus to begin your bachelor's degree, we'll be there for you, supporting your dreams and saving you money. With NTC's new liberal arts transfer degree, you can start here and go anywhere, including a guaranteed transfer to UW-Madison. North Central Technical College. We're ready when you are.
Now's the time to get a Ford built for you by you.
Pick your color, your wheels, and other available features specifically designed for your Ford. Want an F-150 with a 12-inch touchscreen, 400 horsepower in an Explorer, or a moonroof? You've got it. And now an additional $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. See your dealer for a Ford built for you, by you. Build and order your select Ford today and get $1,000 bonus cash in addition to all public offers.
Did you know that approximately 45,000 women in the U.S. will die from breast or cervical cancer this year? The key to prevention and survival is early detection through regular screenings by mammogram and Pap test. Women aged 45 to 64 who are under or uninsured may be eligible for these tests through the Wisconsin Well Woman program. For more information, call 715-369-6119. A message from the Oneida County Health Department and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
High Point Sand and Gravel provides high-quality riprap, sand, and screened topsoil for almost any need. The high-quality rock and stone, boulders, and clear stone enhance the function and beauty of your home or business. Offering convenient delivery or pickup throughout northern Wisconsin and the UP, High Point Sand and Gravel provides premium landscaping materials, specializing in producing beautiful decorative stone for all types of landscaping projects. Contact High Point Sand and Gravel to help make your next project a dream come true.
After nearly 20 years, the last U.S. soldiers will leave a massive base in Afghanistan, possibly by the end of this week. U.S. Central Command said last week it had already packed up more than 50% of their last air base. The rest is going fast. U.S. officials have said the entire pullout of U.S. troops will most likely be finished by July 4th. The Afghan military will then take over the airfield to use in its continuing fight against the Taliban. Meanwhile, U.S. forces in Syria have come under fire again, just hours after American airstrikes on what they say was an Iranian-backed militia in the region. U.S. military spokesperson said no Americans were hurt in this rocket attack and damage is still being assessed. Ali Arouzi reports.
Only a day after the U.S. carried out airstrikes on Iranian-backed militias in Syria and Iraq, a volley of rockets landed at a U.S. military base in eastern Syria, prompting U.S. forces to return fire. A spokesman for the U.S.-led mission in Syria tweeted that U.S. forces in Syria were attacked by multiple rockets on Monday evening. He said that there were no injuries and damage is being assessed, adding that U.S. forces acted in self-defense and conducted counter-battery artillery fire at rocket launching positions. There has been an alarming increase of attacks on U.S. assets in the region by Iranian-backed militias recently, who are using more sophisticated methods of targeting U.S. personnel, like GPS-guided drones laden with explosives.
I directed last night's airstrikes targeting sites used by the Iranian-backed militia group.
The White House is saying that these attacks were ordered to limit the risk of escalation, but after they were launched, a raft of militia commanders under Iran's patronage were vowing revenge, saying that they'll target all U.S. assets in the region, and it looks like they made good on that threat. This latest back and forth, though, is unlikely to affect talks over Iran's nuclear program, as the political will in Tehran and Washington to get the deal done still seems to exist.
Has the pandemic interrupted your routine health care? Our exceptional team at the Lackby Desert Health Center is determined to get you back on track. Our comprehensive primary care services include disease management, women's health, preventative care, and more. The convenience of our walk-in clinic is available when your family needs it the most. Full access to our on-site x-ray and lab services to expedite your care. Our friendly team is excited to meet you, and we are conveniently located in the Elison Realty Building at the intersection of Highway 45 and 70.
The historic Rhinelander Cafe and Pub in downtown Rhinelander has been serving the Northwoods since 1911. With 32 craft beers on tap and supper club staples, Friday fish fry and Saturday prime rib, the Rhinelander Cafe and Pub also features more modern dishes like truffle fries and flatbread pizza. The large dining room provides plenty of space for an intimate surf and turf dinner or a family gathering over pasta. Stop in and enjoy a landmark in downtown Rhinelander, the Rhinelander Cafe and Pub on Brown Street.
I think my teachers are really awesome. They're just so nice and willing to help with anything we need.
What I think everybody should know about the RVA is that it's not what you might think of as a typical homeschooling experience. It's very challenging.
Most people think that you don't get to talk to people if you're homeschooled, but it's the opposite of that.
It's flexible, but it offers each kid a chance to excel in subjects that they're good in, and it gives them extra support in the subjects that they need help in.
The RVA has changed my life by helping me prepare for college and encourage me to plan ahead for life.
BBD Sports Shop is your one-stop headquarters for everything outdoors this summer. They have turkey calls, decoys, and more from HS Strut, Mojo, and Woodhaven. Food plot seed and mineral from Big & J, Real Deal, Big Time, and Whitetail Magic. Rifles, handguns, and shotguns in stock from Springfield, Mossberg, Glock, Ruger, and Savage. And a wide variety of Big Bear Down scent sprays and bear bait by the bag, by the barrel, and by the truckload. 2 convenient Wisconsin locations or online at bigbeardown.com.
At Save More Marketplace, our expansive produce section features a large organic selection of the freshest fruits and vegetables. Get ready to fire up your grill with the finest cuts of Black Angus beef, USDA Prime, Wagyu ribeye, over 15 varieties of brats made in-house, and so much more. Our Scratch Bakery has fresh breads and custom cakes and design specialties for any occasion. Our deli has a great selection of meats, cheeses, and quick and easy meals. And with Save More on the go, we bring the freshness to you.
Jeff, after a rainy afternoon, sun's popping back out in some places.
Sunny in spots and heavy rain still out there in parts of the area now. Let's go to looking at Minocqua where the sun is out currently, but it's beginning to hide behind some clouds because just off to the west, here we are right along 51 right there, our next heavy rain producer. Now again, nothing in here is severe, and it hasn't been severe, but they are very, 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 very good rain producers. 1 inch to 2 inches of rain per hour are coming out of these this afternoon and evening, and we'll likely not be done with them until after sunset. Then we'll get a breakthrough much of tomorrow morning, followed by another round tomorrow afternoon, and then we're done. Then we're done as high pressure will build in finally, and we're going to be off to the races for the holiday weekend with temperatures in the 80s. In fact, look at this 7-day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The weekend looks fantastic, hot, a bit humid. Holiday weekend with temperatures back in the mid, even upper 80s.
Find some water or air conditioning this weekend.
Or a lake to jump in.
That's water. That counts. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for joining us on Newswatch 12 at 5. NBC Nightly News is next. See you back here at 6 with more.